In this video, we are going to look at chapter 1, which is on macromolecules. In this chapter, we are going to cover on the first subtopic, which is on functional group. In this subtopic, we are going to look at 7 different functional groups, and then we are going to look at the different types of chemical bonds. The second subtopic will be on water. We are going to look at the structure and the properties of water. And the next subtopic will be Introduction to Macromolecules. In this subtopic, we are going to look at how polymers are produced through dehydration or condensation reaction. The next subtopic will be proteins. Okay, in that subtopic, we are going to look at the structure and function of proteins. And then the next subtopic will be carbohydrates. The next one will be lipids, and the last one will be nucleic acids. The 4 most important macromolecules are proteins, DNA, carbohydrates, and lipids. Okay, so all these macromolecules contain mainly of carbon atoms, which are bonded to other atoms such as hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and phosphorus atom. Okay, so what are atoms? Okay, atoms are the smallest unit of matter, and as for elements, it is substance that cannot be broken down to other substances by chemical reactions. And then the next one is molecules. So molecules are groups of atoms. So the most common molecules and which is crucial to life is water. Okay, so as you can see from this slide here, so this is the molecular formula of a water molecule. Okay, so water molecule, it is composed of hydrogen, okay, two atoms of hydrogen and 1 atoms of oxygen. So this is actually an oxygen atom. Okay, not a 0. Okay, as you see from the slide. Okay, so another crucial molecules to life is oxygen molecule. Okay, so you need oxygen for cell to undergo cellular respiration, and in the process of cellular respiration, oxygen is needed as the last electron acceptor in order for the cell to be able to generate ATP molecule, okay, which is energy for cell to do work. Okay, a form of energy for cell to do work. And then the next definition that you have to know is compounds. So what are compounds? It is substance consisting of more than 1 types of element, so such as water. Okay, so water, it is composed of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Okay, so there you see 2 different types of elements, hydrogen and oxygen. Another one is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide consists of 1 oxygen atom and 2 oxygen molecule. So carbon dioxide, okay, it is the byproduct of cellular respiration, right? And then carbon dioxide also, it is a crucial reactant in the process of photosynthesis, where plant will use the carbon dioxide to produce sugar at the end of the process. Okay, sugar is produced through photosynthesis. Okay, and then these atoms are held together by chemical bonds. Okay, so you have different types of chemical bonds, and especially the bonds that exist, okay, within atoms of a molecule, such as atoms between oxygen and hydrogen within a water molecule. You have covalent bond. Okay, and then as you can see here from the notes, okay, you have sodium chloride. Okay, sodium chloride, the bond between the sodium ion and also the chloride ion, you will have ionic bonds. Okay, ionic bonds. Okay, in this slide is the structure of an atom. Okay, so an atom, it consists of a nucleus. Okay, a nucleus at the center. So at the center of a nucleus here, okay, you see is the it consists of protons and also neutrons. Okay, neutrons is the positive charge which determines the element. Okay, and then the neutrons which will have no charge. Okay, and on the outside you have the electrons which have negative charge, which form a negative cloud and determines the chemical behavior of the element. So it says here a mass number of elements is equal to the number of protons and neutrons number, and then the atomic number of elements is proton number. Okay. In this table, it shows you the different types of bonds that exist between atoms within a molecule, or atoms between different molecules. Okay, so the first bond is the covalent bond. Okay, so the covalent bond is a strong bond. Okay, so it involves sharing of electron pairs between atoms in a molecule. Okay, so for example, the molecule of hydrogen and oxygen within a water molecule. So the hydrogen and the oxygen atom will share electrons to form the covalent bond between the hydrogen and the oxygen atom within the water molecule. Okay, so the next bond is a non-covalent bonds. Okay, so there are 4 types of non-covalent bond. The first one is ionic bond. So ionic bond, it involves attraction of opposite charges and still within atom in a molecule. So for example, for this one is, okay, the ionic bond that form between the sodium ion and the chloride ion. Okay, so the sodium ion will have positive charge and the chloride ion will have the negative charge. So the positive and the negative charge will attract each other in the formation of ionic bond, okay, between the sodium and the chloride ion to form the sodium chloride salt. Okay, and then the next bond is the hydrogen bond. Okay, so it says here, for hydrogen bond to form, it is formed between partially positive hydrogen atom of a molecule and partially negative atom of another molecule in polar covalent bond. Okay, so this bond the formation of hydrogen bonds are actually between atoms, okay, of different molecule, yeah, of different molecule. So later we will see how hydrogen bonds are formed, okay, between 2 different water molecule, for example. Okay, so the next one is hydrophobic interaction or hydrophobic exclusion. So what is it? So it is a forcing of hydrophobic portion of molecule together when placed in water. Okay, so for example, you have phospholipid molecule. Okay, so phospholipid molecule in the structure of plasma membrane, okay, or any membrane. Okay, so one phospholipid molecule, it consists of hydrophilic head, okay, and this region we call it as the hydrophobic tail. Okay, so the hydrophobic tail is composed of fatty acids which are hydrocarbons. Okay, so hydrocarbons, the property of hydrocarbon is that it is non-polar. So when it is non-polar, it will not attract water molecule, and so therefore this region, the region of the hydrophobic tail of one phospholipid molecule will attract the hydrophobic tail of another phospholipid molecule to form the hydrophobic interaction. Okay, so this is the hydrophobic interaction, okay, that exists, okay, between the phospholipid molecule. Okay, between the phospholipid molecules that form the phospholipid bilayer of membranes. So this region will exclude water. Okay, it will isolate. It will be isolated from water, and the hydrophobic tail will face the aqueous environment outside, okay, such as the extracellular fluid outside of the cell, and this side will face the cytoplasmic, okay, cytoplasmic region of a cell. Okay, so the next interaction is van der Waals interaction. So it is a weak attraction between atoms due to opposite polarized electron clouds. Okay. So basically, covalent bond is the most strongest bond. Okay, so because it exists between atom within a molecule, and then as you go down, you have the weak bonds. Okay, so hydrogen bonds, hydrophobic interaction, van der Waals interaction are example of weak bond. If the bond exists individually, it will be weak, but if they exist in large amount, it will form quite a strong interaction. Okay, the first chemical bond is the covalent bond. So first you have to understand what is valence shell. So valence shell is the outermost orbit of an atom. So within the outermost orbit of an atom, you will have the valence electron. Okay, so usually the electrons on the valence shell, they will have to satisfy the octet rule. So you will have to, the outer shell will have to either have 2 electrons or 8 electrons. Okay, so for a covalent bond to form, so it involves 2 atoms, okay, within a molecule to share valence electron, a pair of valence electrons that are shared between atoms within a molecule. So the results of a covalent bond is that it causes no net charge. It means that the atom, the molecule will have no charge. It will satisfy the octet rule, and then there will be no unpaired electrons. Okay, and the strength of a covalent bond depends on the number of shared electrons. So the more electrons are shared, the stronger the covalent bond. In this diagram, it shows you how a covalent bond is formed between hydrogen atoms within a hydrogen molecule. Okay, one hydrogen molecule will have 2 hydrogen atoms that are bonded to one another through the formation of a covalent bond. Okay, so for each of the hydrogen atom here, okay, so it will have 1 electron. Okay, 1 electron. So in each hydrogen atom, the single electron is held in its orbital by its attraction to the proton in the nucleus. So in the nucleus, okay, of the hydrogen atom, you will have 1 proton. So the electron, okay, on the valence shell will be attracted to its proton. So when 2 hydrogen atoms approach each other, the electron of each atom is also attracted to the proton in the other nucleus. Okay, so when two hydrogen atoms are put near to one another, so the electron of this hydrogen atom, okay, will be attracted to the proton of the next, okay, or the hydrogen atom that is near to it. Okay, so this is the first hydrogen atom, so this is the second hydrogen atom. So the electron of the first hydrogen atom will be attracted to the proton of hydrogen atom 2, and the electron of hydrogen atom 2 is attracted to the proton of hydrogen atom 1. Okay, so the 2 hydrogen atom here, okay, the 2 hydrogen atoms here will share electrons. Okay, so the 2 electrons become shared in a covalent bond, forming an hydrogen molecule. So this will satisfy the octet rule in each hydrogen atom. So the hydrogen atom both will share equal number of electrons. Okay, 2 electrons. In this table, it shows you 4 different kinds of molecule and how covalent bonds are formed between atoms within the molecule. So the first molecule here, you have the hydrogen molecule. Okay, so hydrogen molecule is formed when 2 hydrogen atoms share 1 pair of electrons. So as you can see, 2 hydrogen atoms share 1 pair of electrons to form a single covalent bond. The next molecule is oxygen molecule. So oxygen molecule is formed when 2 oxygen atoms share 2 pairs of electrons to form a double bond. So for one oxygen molecule, it shares 2 pair of electron, two pairs of electron in order to satisfy the octet rule. So each of the oxygen atom here now complete, okay, has a complete of 8 valent electron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it has to satisfy the octet rule. Okay. So for the third molecule is water molecule. So a water molecule is formed when two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom are joined by a single bond. Okay, one single bond. So there are actually two single bonds that are formed between two hydrogen atom and one oxygen molecule. Okay, so the next molecule is methane. Methane, the molecular formula is CH4. Okay, so as you know, one carbon atom will have 4 valence electron. So in order to satisfy the octet rule, so this one carbon atom will have to share, okay, electron with another 4 hydrogen atom, okay, with another 4 hydrogen atoms. Okay, so this will form the methane. Okay, so now the carbon and the 4 hydrogen atoms now satisfy the octet rule. Okay, so methane is actually a non-polar molecule, but as for water, it is actually a polar molecule. Okay, so you have to know that these facts. Okay, a water molecule is a polar molecule because the oxygen, okay, will have two partial negative charge, and hydrogen will have partial positive charge. Okay, so as methane, there will be no charge or partial charge form in the methane structure or molecule. Okay, electronegativity. So what is electronegativity? It is an atom's affinity or attraction for electrons of a covalent bond. So for example here, oxygen atom, as you know, it has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 valence electron. Okay, so it means that the oxygen atom will the electrons of the oxygen atom will be attracted more to the proton, okay, at the center. Okay, because the more electrons the atom has, the more electronegative the atom is. Okay, so compared to, for example, hydrogen atom. So hydrogen atom has one valence electron. Okay, so it means that this one valence electron within the hydrogen atom will be attracted to its proton. So hydrogen atom will be less electronegative compared to the oxygen atom. Okay, so the more electronegative an atom is, the more strongly it pulls shared electron towards itself. Okay, so it means that oxygen will pull electron more toward itself. So there are two types of covalent bonds. Okay, the first covalent bond here is the non-polar covalent bond, and the second type is polar covalent bond. So for a non-polar covalent bond, it is a covalent bond between two atoms of the same element where the electrons are shared equally because the two atoms have the same electronegativity. Okay, so for example, two hydrogen atoms share one pair of electrons in a hydrogen molecule. So both atoms have the same electronegativity. So this hydrogen atom will pull electron toward itself, and this hydrogen atom will pull electron towards itself. Okay, so both of the hydrogen atoms will have the same electronegativity. Okay, so they will share equal, okay, equal amount of electron, equal sharing of electrons. The next type of covalent bond is polar covalent bond. So for polar covalent bond, it is formed when an atom is bonded to a more electronegative atom. The electrons of the bond are not shared equally. Okay, so for example, Okay, example of more electronegative atom is oxygen. Okay, so oxygen will have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 valence electron, okay, compared to hydrogen atom. So hydrogen atom will have 1 valence electron. So oxygen here is more electronegative compared to the hydrogen atom here, where it has only 1 electron. So such bond vary in the polarity. So for example, okay, in a water molecule, okay, so which consists of 2 hydrogen atom bonded to 1 oxygen atom. Okay, so you have one covalent bond here and another covalent bond here. So the sharing between the electron of oxygen and the electron of hydrogen, it causes the electron of the hydrogen to be pulled, okay, more towards the oxygen. The electron of hydrogen here is pulled more towards the oxygen atom. So this is because the oxygen atom is more electronegative. Why? Because the oxygen atom will have more electron that is pulled, okay, more towards the oxygen atom due to it has more proton. Okay, it has more proton. So such bonds vary in their polarity. So for example, the bond between the oxygen and 2 hydrogen atoms of water molecule are quite polar. So the oxygen is more electronegative, which attracts shared electron more strongly than hydrogen atom. Okay, so this involves unequal sharing of electrons. Okay, so that is polar covalent bond. It causes, okay, in the water molecule, because oxygen will pull more electron towards itself, so it has partial, okay, 2 partial negative charge. Because the electron of hydrogen is pulled towards the oxygen, so the hydrogen will have partial positive charge. Okay, so in this diagram, it shows you 2 different molecules. So the first one here is water molecule, and the second one here is ethane. Okay, ethane is an example of hydrocarbon. Okay, it is composed of carbon and hydrogen. So for this one, water molecule is composed of 1 oxygen bonded to 2 hydrogen. Okay, so the hydrogen atom each will have partial positive charge, and as for oxygen, it has 2 partial negative charge. Okay, so electron have a negative charge and are pulled toward oxygen in a water molecule. So the shared electron, okay, are pulled more towards the oxygen because oxygen is a more electronegative atom compared to the oxygen. Okay, so as for the molecule of ethane, okay, which is a non-polar molecule, so the individual bond of ethane are much less polar because the electronegativities of carbon are and hydrogen are similar. Okay, similar. So carbon will share, okay, equal amount of electron in the ethane molecule. Okay, so there will be no charge form, and the ethane molecule is non-polar. Okay, so because it involves equal sharing of electrons. Okay, the electronegativities of carbon and hydrogen are similar. Okay, the second chemical bond is ionic bond. Okay, so ionic bond is formed by the attraction of oppositely charged ions. So it involves the attraction between cation and anion. Example of cation is sodium ion. Okay, sodium ion which have 1 positive charge, and example of anion is chloride ion. So cation will have positive charge, and anion will have negative charge. Okay, so the attraction between the cation and anions which have opposite charges will attract each other to form the ionic bonds. Okay, the next chemical bond is ionic bond. So in this diagram, it shows you the formation of ionic bond between sodium ion and chloride ion. For sodium atom, it has one valence electron. So it causes the sodium atom to lose one electron and become sodium ion, Na+. Okay, so the chlorine atom will have 7 valence electron, so it has to satisfy the octet rule by gaining an electron. So when chlorine atom gains an electron, it becomes chloride ion, Cl negative. So now sodium is a cation and chloride ion is an anion. Okay, so it causes the formation of ionic bond to form between the oppositely charged ions. So Na plus and Cl negative. Okay. So opposite charges attract so that sodium ion and chloride ion remain associated as an ionic compound, NaCl, which is table salt. Compounds formed by ionic bonds are called ionic compound or salt. Okay, salt are often found in nature as crystal. In a dry crystal, the ionic bonds are very strong, but if dissolved in water, the ionic bonds are much weaker. So electrical attraction of water molecules can disrupt forces holding ions together. So this is due to the property of water, where water molecule, okay, it is polar. Okay, so when water molecule is polar, as you know, okay, this is water molecule. The oxygen region will have partial negative charge, and the hydrogen region will have partial positive charge. Okay, so because water molecule will have both partial negative and partial positive charge, it will attract respectively the ion of the salt. Okay, so it means that when you put salt in water, it causes the salt to dissolve. Okay, because the negative region, okay, of water, which is the oxygen region here, will be attracted to the sodium ion, and the positive region of water, which is the hydrogen atom here, will be attracted to the chloride ion. Okay, so this will cause the salt to dissolve in water. Okay, so the next chemical bond is hydrogen bond. So a hydrogen bond is actually a weak chemical bond. So if the hydrogen bond exists alone, so it is a weak bond. But if you have so many of the hydrogen bond, it can form a strong interaction. Okay, so a hydrogen bond is formed when a hydrogen atom is covalently bonded to an electronegative atom, such as oxygen, and the hydrogen atom has a partial positive charge that allows it to be attracted to a different electronegative atom nearby. So for example, here you have a water molecule, oxygen and hydrogen, oxygen and two hydrogen atoms. Okay, so nearby you have another molecule, which is ammonia, NH3. Okay, so the nitrogen of ammonia will have partial negative charge. Okay, and the hydrogen atom, okay, of a water molecule will have a partial positive charge. A hydrogen bond is formed when the partial charge of hydrogen atom of one molecule is attracted to the partial, okay, negative charge region of another water molecule. In this case is the partial negative charge of nitrogen, of ammonia. Okay, so you will form hydrogen bond. So remember, whenever you draw a hydrogen bond, you have to draw using dotted line. You cannot draw using a straight line. If you draw using a straight line, okay, so it indicates that it is not a hydrogen bond, but instead it is a covalent bond. Okay, so remember, a covalent bond is only exists between atoms within a molecule, not atoms within different molecule. Okay, so therefore here it says, therefore attraction between a hydrogen atom and an electronegative atom, in this case is nitrogen, is called a hydrogen bond. So hydrogen has a partial positive charge, and whereas oxygen and nitrogen will have a partial negative charge. So the next chemical bond is hydrophobic interaction. So hydrophobic interaction is a weak chemical bond. Okay, it's a weak chemical interaction which causes when molecules do not mix with water, and which causes the molecule to be excluded from water. Okay. So interaction between a non-polar molecule in water, which is the water is actually a polar solvent. Okay, so for example here you have fats. Okay, fats molecule. So as you know, fat will not mix with water. Okay, so fat will attract each other to form hydrophobic interaction. Okay, so the fat will exclude themselves from water. Okay, it does not like water, it will not mix with water. So in this case here, in this diagram, it shows you a portion of a protein. Okay, so protein, as you know, it is made up of amino acids. Okay, amino acids. So each of the amino acid will have R group or side chain. Okay, so in this case, this amino acid will have a hydrophobic group. Okay, a hydrophobic region as its side chain. So it composed of carbon and hydrogen, carbon and hydrogen. So it has non-polar side chain. Okay, and this on this region you have another amino acid with non-polar side chain. So the non-polar region of the amino acid will attract each other to form hydrophobic interaction. So this region where you form where there is formation of hydrophobic interaction, it will exclude itself, okay, from the surrounding aqueous solution. So outside here you have the aqueous solution. These two amino acids will exclude themselves from water because they have non-polar side chain. Okay. The next chemical bond is van der Waals interaction. So van der Waals interactions are weak attractions between molecules or parts of molecules that result from transient local or impermanent local partial charges. So van der Waals interactions are usually they are weak. If they exist individually, they are weak and occur when atoms and molecules are very close together. But when many such interactions occur simultaneously, they can be powerful. So in this diagram, for example, it gives you two molecules of hydrogen. Okay, so when this molecule hydrogen molecule exists alone, okay, there is no electronegativity difference between the two hydrogen atoms, okay, here. So they are non-polar and do not have a dipole. But when you put two molecule hydrogen together, okay, next to each other, so a dipole is induced because electrons rearrange themselves. Okay, so the electrons within the electron cloud, when you put these two molecules together, when you put these two hydrogen molecules together, it causes the electron in the electron cloud to move. Okay, so when you when the electron cloud moves, you will induce charge, okay, partial charges to be formed. Okay, and these partial charges that are formed within the hydrogen molecule will cause van der Waals interactions.